So I had to make this blog real quick. It's probably not going to be real quick, to be honest. Never buy windows from Simonton Norandex, which I think Norandex is the product Simonton makes. I'm not even sure. ABC Windows, which is the wholesale place. And I think that's it. Don't deal with this company at all. They're by far the most stupidest, dumbest, arrogant fucking idiots that don't respond to you I've ever seen in my life. And their product is fucking horrible. Horrible. I got 30 windows. I got this entire house renovated. It's an 1800s house. After you buy 30 windows from somebody, they should be kissing your fucking ass. So I have 4 giant picture windows. All right, to give you a idea of the size, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then there's another one down there at the other side of the room. all four came damaged. Now, my house renovation project should have been about a month. All right, these windows came the first week and they were damaged. They were damaged. Sorry, I was in the middle of eating and my throat's fucked up. They were damaged and defective. Now, I used to work at a window company. I inspected windows. I built them. I put them together. I buffed the scratches out of them. Did whatever we had to do to make them right and send them out. And if they were wrong, our company would immediately fix the problem with no arguments. Now, I have a family member that still works in this industry, and she works for this guy who owns most of the window places. So he's bought out all these top window places. I won't say any names, but all the top ones he owns. All right. My family member works for that place and has been working there for 20 years. So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm very knowledgeable in fucking windows. Not fucking them, but in windows in general. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So when these assholes try to give me bullshit excuses, I know they're giving me bullshit excuses. So where do I start here? Sorry, like I said, I was just eating and I had to rant this blog off so people don't buy these fucking windows. Stay away from them. So Simonton sells windows to ABC Windows at wholesale, I guess. I'm still trying to figure this out because my contractor got these windows. So he's the one who dealt with them. For the most part, in the beginning I just know stuff from what he told me, which is they just kept dicking them around. They kept ignoring them. They kept giving them the wrong dates. And I 100% believe them because after I had started talking to them and I had to start making decisions, they did the exact same shit to me. So let's go back to the beginning here. 30 windows, the 4 big picture frame windows, 2 of the frames came in bad. A frame was cracked. The other frame was scratched all the way around the square, the inside, the outside. And there was defects on the inside of the glass where you see like pieces of glass shard. There's blue liquid inside the glass. I have no clue where that comes from. If that's some new sort of technology where it's in the argon for some reason or whatever, which is just gas. I don't know. I don't know why there's blue liquid inside of between my window pane. There's a big blur like that big in the middle of the glass. All of these windows have a sticker on them that say inspected. These people are not inspecting windows. And if they are, they're just passing them through. So these companies are horrible. So the first week we say, look, 4 windows are bad. The weather stripping that's on the outside, the corners aren't tucked in. You know, we want new weather stripping, we want new frames, we want new windows. We call ABC Windows. They're constantly ignoring us. The times they do talk to us, they start arguing with us. As if we're just making this shit up, you know? Oh, how bad is it? Maybe I can come down there and look at it. As if the fucking boss of ABC Windows is going to come directly to my house and look. Yeah, right. He's not going to get out of his fucking office. And we'll get more to that later on why he's a fucking asshole and should be fucking fired. So, you know, ABC Windows gave me a hassle about my 4 windows being bad. So with blue tape, I marked all the defects around the window, and I showed where all the defects were, and we sent pictures to him, and I was like, look, these are all the things that are bad. Yeah, if it was just a speck here and a speck there, fine, whatever. But there's a crack in the frame, there's a big piece of like lint, like fiber, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. Glass shards that are stuck in the middle. You can't clean that stuff. It's in between the glass. And even if you get in between the glass, you just, it fucks everything up. You need new glass. So we ordered new glass, and it took like, I don't know, 2 months or something. It took a long ass time. They gave me a date. They said, we're going to be out that day. Sat at home, waited for 4 hours, and nobody showed up. Called them, hey, where are you? What's going on? No answer. And this no answer thing happens continuously. Continuously for over 4 months is no answer. From anybody involved in this. You know, me and my foreman are my contractor are calling people, and nobody's calling us or letting us know what's going on. They can't give us an estimated time of when the new glass will be in or whatever. So they're like, look, we're going to send a tech team out. You know, these guys are top tier tech team. They work for the company, and they got all the tools you need with them. These guys are number one. They'll come out. They'll fix everything up. This is what they do. We're like, all right, fine. We'll wait for the fucking tech team to come out. Tech team comes out with 3 new windows. They made everything worse than what it already was. The 3 new pieces of glass they gave me, again, which were supposedly inspected, were worse than the windows before. There's grease like in the corners of the window that comes out onto the window, which you can rub off of the glass, but then it goes inside the frame. You can't get to that part. So when you're looking at the window, you just see a big ass piece of grease inside the frame. So when they replace your windows and they send this team out, they have to use a little crowbar to pull these 4. There's like a panel at the top, panel at the bottom, panel on the sides. They have to pull these panels out in order to get the glass out. Now, when they do that, their stupid little crowbar thing bends all the plastic up that they're prying out, and then they put that same plastic back in, and now you have a gap every inch going around your entire window frame. So every time they replace windows, it gets worse and worse and worse. Instead of sending you a whole new frame and window, they're spending a shitload of money on this window tech team to come out and replace the glass, which the glass ends up worse anyways. And now I've researched this, what other people have said online, and I found out that, there was one couple that are like 80 years old, and they said they're on their 10th. They've already had the recovery team has came out 10 times in 1 year, and the glass is still not correct. And they're like, what if we were younger and we worked all day? You know what I mean? How are we going to deal with this? You know what I mean? It consumes your life. It literally consumes your life. And they just wear you down until you're so exhausted that you just can't deal with it anymore. So there's so many directions to go with this story that I have to say that I'm trying to remember it all. So, um, I end up talking to the owner or the boss of ABC Windows, and we're trying to speed things up, and we're thinking, everything in my house is on hold because of these windows. I can't get other shit done because the windows aren't done, so we can't move forward. So my house is like sitting in a half finished state for over a month. You know what I mean? And we're telling the window guys, like, hey, look, we can't do shit with my house because of your window situation. In the middle of all of this, my friend died. I missed his fucking funeral. My girlfriend left me. I had no time to figure out, to patch that up or anything else. And it's all over this house bullshit because it's consumed my life. And the third issue is my friend has fucking cancer, stage 4, and he lives out of state, but he comes into my state to get medical treatment. But that he can only do that every once in a while at the veterans. He's a veteran from Desert Storm. Now, when he comes into town, that's the only time I could see him. I haven't been able to see him any of the times. He's already lost 40 pounds. He's probably not going to make it, And here I am arguing with these fucking window people, trying to get my fucking windows fixed. They're giving me times not showing up. They're giving me a fucking hard time. And I have a friend dying of cancer who I'm probably never going to see again. And I missed all these opportunities to spend time with them because I've been fucked around with this bullshit. So it's fucked with my personal life and I'm fucking pissed, So I talked to the boss at ABC Windows and I'm like, look, your recovery team came out. The glass is worse than it was before, and now the frames are even worse. I said, I want 4 new frames and 4 new windows. Don't send the recovery team out again. He goes, let me call you back. Never heard from him again. When they say, let me call you back, you're not going to hear from them again when it comes to this company. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I need a break anyways. I'm over this. I don't give a fuck if he calls me back or not. So one frame comes in with new glass, and me and my contractor are like, look, before you deliver this glass tomorrow to my house, can we come to the warehouse, open the saran wrap around it, open it in front of you because we had so many problems with these windows and glass, open it in front of you in your warehouse, so if we see any defects in it, you can't say that we did it at my house and we fucked it up on whatever excuses they keep making up. So we go there to the warehouse, brand new window. They just got it in, and we open it up. Let me see if I could show you. I'll try to flip the phone. It won't let me flip while I'm recording. So if you can see, that glazing bead up there, it's at the top up here. Hopefully you can see that, but that's a glazing bead, right? The whole thing is like a wave. It should be straight all the way across. That's the first thing we seen when we open up the window. And we're like, dude, look at this. Look at this. Like, how does this get past inspection? This stupid ass motherfucker from ABC Windows is just looking at me. Oh, yeah, I agree. It shouldn't be like that. I'll make a note of it. Make a note of it? Motherfucker, you need to start calling this company and saying, stop sending me defective windows. So I'm talking to the guy, and I'm pointing things out to him, and he's like, well, we never really had a complaint about that before. And I'm like, come on, man. So I'm trying to keep my cool and not punch this guy in the face because he's treating me like a fucking idiot. And I'm like, how does this get past inspection? I go, like, I've worked in a window company before for 2 years. How does this get past inspection? They put a fucking label on it that says past inspection on the window. How does that happen? That's what I'm asking the guy. Well, and this is the answer I get over and over and over again. Since COVID, it's hard to get good workers. Okay, yeah, I understand that. Because, yeah, that is happening in a lot of places. People need workers, so they're hiring anybody. But people need to be reprimanded. They need to be told, hey, like, whoever the fucking inspector is, he needs to be fired. Or somebody just needs to reach out to him and a message needs to be relayed from ABC Windows to Simonton saying, like, stop sending us fucked up windows. Like, what are you doing? But then that message never gets there because the guy, I'll say his name's Scott, from ABC Windows, never seems to send the fucking message to anybody. And we just keep getting shitty windows. So then he just looks at me. And I'm like, how does it get past inspection? Well, workers aren't that good anymore. What? How the fuck is that? Why is that my problem? So I have to go through 4 months of continuously getting new glass and waiting on you guys and not knowing a time frame. And, I live out in the middle of nowhere. I moved out in the middle of the country. So all the people I know are up north. When I leave and shit, when I leave the house, like, I'm an hour away all the time. And I'm out of town. So, like, when I leave, I can't just fucking come back at a last minute fucking phone call. It's fucking bullshit. So he's just looking at me and I'm just like, and then I'm asking him other questions and he's just looking at me. And then, like, he gives me this thing like, well, I've been doing this for 40 years. And I'm like, just thinking like, well, you should be fired then. Like, and then I've talked to some of the workers and I'm like, dude, is your boss fucking retarded? Or like, what is wrong with him? I go, he said he's been doing this for 40 years and he's doing a shit job. Every single worker was like, yeah, he's a fucking idiot. I don't know why he's here, So, I don't know if he has entitlement because he's been doing it for so long. But it's whatever. Don't deal with ABC Windows. Their wholesale shit sucks. For smaller windows like that over there, they're okay. The welds aren't very great in the corner. I can tell you that. I wouldn't even deal with those ones. Just don't deal with them at all. Winter's coming up and I hate to see what the hell is going to happen to these windows or when I get a bad storm and a bad rain. And so another thing that happened when the glass repair team came out is the molding, the weather stripping that goes around the outside, it wasn't tucked in the corners. They take a scraper and poke it and tuck it in the corner. I go, bro, that's not going to hold. Like, there's not enough weather stripping, and that's why it's pulling outwards. And so he jams some caulk up in there and says, that'll fill the space. And I'm like, dude, like, what? Why did you just do that? Like, this needs to be replaced. It doesn't need caulk jammed in there and a brand new $400 fucking window. I was told that you guys had weather stripping to replace this shit, and where the fuck is it? You guys don't have it. They told me that you guys were going to bring it and replace it. That was the first main concern, and they didn't have it. And they're like, well, we don't have that because that only comes with a new frame. And I'm like, what? It doesn't even make any fucking sense. Like, so, all right, give me a new frame then. No, we can't give you a new frame. Why? Well, you got to show us the problem. Yeah, I showed you the problem. Give me a new frame. Then crickets. You don't hear anything. So this is over and over and over again. So I tell the guy at ABC Windows, they're like, we're sending you 3 new pieces of glass. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this again, I go, I don't want this repair team at my house. Because what I found out from the repair team is they get paid per visit per window. So as many windows as they can replace, the better for them. So they really don't give a, and they're third party. So they're hired third party. Anytime a company hires third party to fix their problems, that means the company is shit, The company is not doing good. They're hiring somebody to patch up their shitty work in order to get you to just shut up. And it works because you get so exhausted of it, you just don't want to deal with it anymore. So I tell the guy from ABC Windows, the boss, I go, if you're going to send a repair team out and that's the only thing you can do, he goes, we come to the conclusion, he goes, well, I could put in a request to not have the same team come out, but have different members come out and do it. So I'm like, fine, do that and see if that's any better. So I'm like, what's the wait time on this? He's like, oh, I don't know. You're going to be at the back of the line, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, so another 2 or 3 months then, I'm guessing? Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess we could try to see if we could speed things up. I'm like, dude, all right, whatever. I'm leaving before I punch you in the face. So, wait, weeks, months, whatever it's been. And I'm like, I have to get this house done. You know what I mean? I go like, no, I can't finish the house because the windows aren't in. So I tell my foreman, I go, look, I can look past the defects and stuff. I'll put blinds up. I won't have to look at the little defects and stuff. Let's just put these frames in the window. Let's finish this shit and get it over with. The only thing I want replaced is the glazing bead, which I showed in the video, which was over there. I said, when that replacement team, the glass replacement team comes out, just have them repair the glazing bead and we'll be done with this. I'll just accept the bad windows, okay? As long as the argon gas isn't leaking out during the winter. I don't give a shit about the glass shards and everything else that's in between the glass and the fibers and stuff. I'll look past all of that, pretend it's not there. I just want to go on with my life at this point. It's been months. So that was the plan. They were supposed to call me last week, all right, on the 31st. So on the 30th, they're like, yeah, they're going to call you on the 31st to set up an appointment. I didn't hold my breath on that one. 31st comes, I don't get a phone call. Couple days go by. It's now like, today's like, I don't know. Today is the 6th or 7th, I think. So finally I get a phone call. And today's Friday, and the guy from the glass place, who I didn't want here again, says, hey, I'm calling to set up an appointment to bring the 3 pieces of glass and replace them next week for you. And I said, I already told people that I don't want that glass. I just want the beads fixed and be done with it. I explained to him the whole scenario. I said, look, this has been going on for 4 months. I don't want you to put 3 new pieces of glass in. Those be bad, possibly worse than what I already have again. And then I keep going through this every 2 to 3 months where you keep bringing new glass over and over and over again. Like, I see the cycle. I've researched it. Other people are going through it. I'm not the only one. This is how they do business. And I'm pretty sure one of the pieces of glass they gave me on the new window, new frame, was a return from somebody else because it had suction cup marks inside on the glass, which is the same suction cup marks that were used from the glass replacement company. So I'm pretty sure the new window they gave me was just a return from somebody else or something. There's something suspicious with that window. It shouldn't have passed inspection. So when I tell this glass repair guy that I'm denying his 3 pieces of glass that he's supposed to give me that he got in, he goes into a panic because now he's not going to get paid for those 3 pieces of glass installing them. I guess he gets paid per glass that they put in, per house, something like that. And so this company loses Simonton. They have to be losing an enormous amount of money sending these teams out instead of just making the product good in the first place. And now I know it's happening. Their business is probably most likely going under. And I guess they distribute all through America. So I don't even think they're located in my state. But I've seen this happen with the window place that I worked at when they started going downhill, how the quality went downhill. Sometimes we would have windows and I would say, like, look, this is wrong with the window. I can't pass it down the line to the next guy. And the boss would say, doesn't matter. I have an order to just send everything out. We wait for it to come back, then we fix it. I go, how does that make sense? You're wasting so much time doing that. Do it right the first time, you know? And they had this whole thing of like, well, customers are going to complain and it's better if you give them a bad window instead of no window, blah, blah, blah. So I know how that all works. Eventually, the company I worked for got bought out by somebody better and all that shit got fixed, you know? So I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I see this shit going on. They have to be a company that's just failing and they're not going to last. I see them maybe lasting a few more years. And if they last longer than that, the complaints for them have to be outrageous. Unless it's just because it's through this wholesale that they're just throwing junk windows at the wholesale at ABC Windows, and ABC Windows don't care, and they're just like, you know, whatever. This is how we do business. It's wholesale. So that could be it too. So then, you know, I tell the glass guy, you know, just give me this glazing bead. That's all I want. And then I'll be done with you guys, out of your hair. We won't have to deal with each other. Be done with it and get on with my life. He's in a panic. He's like, oh, let me call the guy from ABC Windows, the boss, and see if he ordered a glazing bead. I said, well, he said he did because we were there in the warehouse with him and he saw the issue and that's something he was supposed to order. And if you got the pieces of glass in, why can't you check to see if the piece is with the glasses? Like, you're right there. So just look to see if it's with it. Because he's like, oh, well, I don't know if we got that part or not. Let me call Scott, the boss at ABC Windows. So, like, right then, he's telling me, like, 3 different lies that don't make sense and add up. And I'm just like, all right, fine. He's like, I'll call you right back. Right back as soon as I talk to him. I'm like, okay. That was 12 hours ago, and I never got a call back. I fell asleep with the phone in my hand. It was one of those moments where you're like, all right, I can't miss this call. Can't miss this call. And then you go to sleep. Woke up, no calls. So now it's Friday. Now, you know, nobody's going to contact me over the weekend. So I'm just like, now I have to wait till Monday to see what they say or what they're going to do or whatever. Either way, it fucking sucks. Because now I have to wait the whole weekend and have my Monday free in order to make plans to get them out here. Hope they show up and blah, blah, blah. So another thing, the glass replacement guy, you know, and to be fair to the glass replacement guy, even though he did kind of a shitty job, he did try to help me a little bit. He's like, well, if it helps, I can give you the number directly to Simonton, and you could talk to this lady. And I go, let me guess, the lady's in North Carolina. And he goes, yeah. And so I go, the reason why I know that is because that lady had called us once. We didn't get to the phone in time. So we called her right back. She didn't answer. We needed this important question answered right away. We called her 3 days in a row. She never returned our calls, never returned our voicemails. After the third day, we're begging her, please call us back. You know what I mean? And she doesn't call us back. And she's supposed to be the main person from Simonton, I guess, that deals with this shit, based in North Carolina. So he's like, you know, I could give you her number. And I go, bro, don't even bother. I said, we've called them and it's no responses. I go, between all of you people, I never get a response. People never answer their phones. People never want to fix the problem. When they try to fix the problem, it becomes out worse. I go, and then so another thing he says is, well, and this is a lie too. He goes, you know, if you don't accept these 3 pieces of glass, you're probably going to void your warranty. So if something happens with these windows in the future, your warranty is going to be voided. And I'm like, you're just saying that because you get paid per glass. So you're trying to scare me into accepting these 3 pieces of glass so you can get paid for them. But I know that these, trial and error, you keep giving me bad glass. I'm content now with the flaws that I have in this glass and that glass over there. I don't want anything worse than I already have. So, you telling me that the warranty will be bad? How much more worse can it get? At this point, if something goes wrong with these windows over the winter or, within the next year, this company is so bad. They have a lifetime warranty on the frames, and then on the glass is, I don't know, so many years. But I go, bro, like, this glass is so bad that if something goes wrong with it, I'm just going to ignore the warranty and get new windows. Even though these windows are brand new, this has been such a headache that I could buy new windows and have them installed that'll be fine and perfect faster than it would take me to get these replaced, fixed, bad glass put in it again, and the crowbar mess. Every time you take glass out of a frame, you're making it worse and worse. It's never the same as it was when it's new. So I'm like, yeah, if it comes down to it and I need new windows and you void my warranty and you're being an asshole like that, like, I'll just go through the company that my family is working for, that I'm related to, and I'll get the glass from them. And it'll be good and it'll be done right, and I won't have to fucking worry about it. The only reason why I didn't go through that company is because the foreman on my job went through his company, which usually works out for him. He's never had this problem before on big windows. He's never had, like, this is his first time dealing with windows this size. He usually does the normal size windows. And so when you deal with these bigger picture windows, you have to really inspect them because you can get a lot of flaws in them. The worst being the frame cracked. That's something you really got to look for in the corners, is the plastic being cracked and bad welds and stuff like that. So that's been my experience with ABC Windows, Norandex, Simonton. They're fucking horrible. And everything I got is Norandex. The doors, the glass on the doors, I got 6 of them, and the screen doors, but mainly just the doors. 6 doors. Same thing, the glass in their doors had grease marks, fibers, all that stuff, and they're small pieces of glass. Like, when you get to these bigger size glasses, it's a little bit more acceptable. There's little flaws that if you can't see them from like 6 feet away, then they're passable. But when you get to these smaller pieces of glass, there's really not an excuse why there should be grease on the inside smeared and fibers and all this other stuff in it. So even with the doors, like, there's little metal strips that are inside the glass of the doors. They go up and then sideways as a design. The one door, the pieces of metal in the glass were like, I don't know if they were rusty. I don't know if they were rusty or what it was, but it looked rusty and somebody painted over the rust. I don't know if you ever try to paint something that was old and, like, say you spray painted over it or something and it was rusty and you saw the little, like, the little grooves in the pitting and stuff. That's what was on the inside of one of the windows of my door. And luckily it's a door that I don't ever really use, and I'm probably the only one that's going to know that that's there. But still, knowing that it's there pisses me the fuck off. It should be done right. So, again, 30 minutes later, stay away from Simonton. Stay away from Norandex products. When you Google them, you don't find much research on them. And I don't know, you can't even leave a Google review about them anywhere. There's nowhere to leave a review. I've looked. So I don't know if Google is just burying these results or what. The only thing I could find is Reddit forums of other people that are pissed. Even when you look on YouTube, there's not really that much information. You know, most of these window companies are the same because a lot of them are owned by the same people. But, you know, you're going to have bad products with everybody that you go with. The differences between companies is how they handle when you get a bad product. They should cater to you right away and say, we'll get that fixed up right away. And, you know, that's what the company my family member works for does. Like, she deals with that every day. If somebody gets a bad product, right away they fix it. They don't want to come out again. You know, they're like, all right, we fucked up the first time. There's not no second fuck up. The second time we make sure that that window's good. And that's how a good glass company should be. A lot of them are going to send out defective windows. They know it. They hope that it just slides past the customer. A lot of people they don't really look at the windows, you know? So, you know, they might glance over it and stuff, but they don't really inspect it because they say, hey, it's a brand new window. You know what's going to be wrong with it? There's going to be a lot wrong with it if you don't look at it properly. So, you know, when getting a window company, you know, a big thing is returns. Is hopefully you get a company that they don't argue with you about returns and they are on the ball about fixing it and getting you a new window, and they don't send out a fucking third-party repair team to gouge everything up and screw it up even more than it already is. So, yeah, fuck ABC Windows. Fuck Scott that works at ABC Windows. You should be fired. You're a fucking idiot. Fuck all the glass repair people. Fuck Norandex products. Fuck Simonton and all their fucking inspectors. All that shit needs to be... They just shouldn't be in business. I had another video showing all the detail of the windows and stuff, but it's like, this shit has been going on for so long that it's like, just when I think that, excuse me. Just when I think this nightmare ends, it restarts again. So, I mean, I could keep going on and on and on, but that's basically the story. Stay the fuck away from those companies. And I'm located in Ohio. Stay away from ABC Windows. They're in Mansfield. And stay the fuck away from Simonton, wherever the fuck they are.